everyone. Today we got to play Ofrenda, maybe.
Ofrenda.
Ofrenda. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends.
You want to be our Ofrenda.
So I actually picked up this game at Gen Con. It was my one and only game purchase, I think. Besides, I bought one. I think I bought one more because I needed it, but then I sold it literally after we used it. But yeah. So
no,
I did.
That's not true. You picked up that blimp game too.
Nope, that was Origins.
Okay.
So this is the only one I bought.
Together for me.
This is the only one I bought at Gen Con. And it was done by a small publisher, and there was 2 copies left, so I decided to grab it because it was a Kickstarter only. They didn't know if they was going to make a rerun, and so I thought, why not grab it? I specifically got this for Halloween, but it is November.
Well, technically, the Day of the Dead is in November as well.
November 1st. It is November 15th, Randy. You are slack-a-lacking because I wanted to get this out before.
Well, maybe some people like to celebrate it longer.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, you know, so there's that.
And Randy smells dead, so, you know.
There is that, too.
Yeah.
You always smell good, so.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, stop it.
All right, Robert, can you tell us a little bit more about this game?
So this is a 2025 release. Overall rank is 8,331, rated at 7.4 on Board Game Geek. Plays 1 to 4 people in about 60 minutes. Took us quite a bit longer because people didn't know what to play. For ages 14 and up, designed by Orlando Sa and Andre Santos. Art by Alex Herrera's. I'm sorry, I'm sure I mispronounced that. Published by Osprey Games. MSRP $60. Cheapest had Card House like usual at $43.99. But some close ones. Amazon was a little over $43 as well. Miniature Market $47.99. So
okay.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about quality of components. So you've got these nice inlaid boards. You have wooden marigolds. You do have cardboard chits for the candles, which makes sense because they have to have that, you know, what they were identifying as, or what you needed for victory points. And then card quality.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Not great, though.
It's good. No, it's good size thickness. It's got a linen finish. It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. So then you also get these 2 bags that mix them for the randomization options that they've got going on.
Well, except for the marigolds don't really randomize. They're all the same.
It's just more storage. But
Well,
it's
just
for
more
storing
storage.
in the- yeah,
And it's
storing in the box.
pretty. It matches
It is
everything.
pretty.
Yeah.
Overall, I think they actually did a really good job for a new publisher doing this type of quality. I think they did solid on it. I've seen way worse from new publishers.
Osprey Games isn't a new publisher, but they worked through Osprey to get it published.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
So anyway, but it's produced nicely.
They did a good job on production value.
Absolutely. I'm probably going to give this. I'll probably give this an 8. Inlaid boards, everything's nice. I can't think of anything that I would upgrade on it. So
I agree. I think 8. The boards are really nice.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go with an 8. I think the marigolds should have been both sides, but, you know,
The screen printing.
They only screen printed the one.
I mean, really, they could have done wooden candles too. I mean, you would paint candle one side and sticker on the other side, but no big deal.
But then Randy would complain about the
no
stickers.
stickers.
He would. He would complain.
Heat transfer.
But overall, so all of us really liked it. All right, so moving on to the actual theme, I thought it was really pretty. I think this game's pretty. I think it's fun. I do think it's festive. It does feel like what you're trying to do, right? Set up, offerings to the dead and making sure that you put people that like each other because the spirits are going to come visit.
They like each other. They're family members. They're related.
Right, but you got to make sure that they stay away from certain people. Like,
but it isn't because they don't like them. It's because they want to be near their family and they have certain things that they like.
Well, she explained it to me as like, some people don't like
the rules of the book as a theme.
When I was at the booth, she said, well, you know, we're for the people that didn't like the skulls and the lanterns,
right.
You know. They didn't like those family members, so they weren't going to come visit.
You're embellishing the
No, that was not in the book, but it was at the booth. So,
Sure.
Anyway, no, I liked it. I actually really liked the theme. I think it's good. I love the art. I think it's fun. It definitely brings attention to it. That's what caught me into it. I'm actually probably going to give it a 9 on theme. I thought it was great.
I thought the artwork's beautiful, but that's about it for the theme. That mechanically, it didn't jive with me at all. Thought it was a little frustrating, as a matter of fact, in some regards, even though I did pretty good. But just thematically, just the artwork, though, is so good. So I'm going to give it a decent score for that, but it's just the artwork. I won't give it a 7.
Okay.
So, I mean, this boils down to basically a logic problem, and person X wants to be near these things, doesn't want to be near those things. It's
But there's
very difficult to get
It's a-
the whole
there's a
order
drafting
arranged.
piece to
It would
too.
be a logic puzzle if you had all the pieces,
Yeah.
but it's random for the most
Right.
part. So
Right. Well, I mean but that's part of the game part, right?
But-
like you got to draft the right way, and you got to work with what you got.
I definitely do see, and then the fact that you're lighting up you're getting the spirits to come to the ones that they like the best, and you're lighting them up. I think it does lend to the theme very well. It's not the heaviest theme in the world,
Well, no.
but I think it's an uncommon theme. Something you don't see out there very often. So for that, I'm probably going to go ahead and split the difference and give this probably an 8.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the rule book, I thought it was pretty easy to understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 12-page rule book. The core concepts are pretty easy because all you're doing is picking a card, deciding whether you want to take the candle or not with it, and then paying marigolds if you don't like the first one, and so on. But then the trick is when you're playing them into your board, and then especially some of the cards, one size does not meet all. There's cards that are definitely easier to complete than there are other ones.
Well, I
that
mean,
are
that's
hard.
the point of the marigolds in drafting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well-
and a little bit of hand management because you've got 3 cards, knowing when to pull, pick up the ones you need,
Yeah.
play them down. So,
So-
although the first 3 cards, I feel like we should have drafted awful ones to start out with. I didn't play a single one that in my starting hand.
So, I think the rulebook does do a good job. It was easy to read, easy to interpret. There was really no confusion over it. The fact that there is a variant in the rules, I like that they make it actually we're going to add on to this. It's already pretty brain burnery enough.
I don't think we need to add any more difficulty levels.
Well, eventually. I mean, once we get to playing it more often, you would know how things worked and where you want to put things.
You said something funny. Play it more often. That's funny.
I actually like this game.
It does have a solo mode.
I think my mom would like it.
Not a real in-depth one, and it's not the kind. It's the kind you don't like. where you
Right.
score
Do better
for
than you
grade.
did last time.
Yeah, I don't like those very much, yeah.
So it's got a nice reference on the back as far as what the different objectives mean and so on. I think the only confusion was like they had some white printing that wasn't
Yeah.
mentioned anywhere. On
And it
some
was
of
so
them.
hard to see to begin with.
Yeah.
And then-
Well, I mean, but it's the same white printing on all of the things that are.
yeah, it's
here.
just that because of the
Because it's on
light
those
yellow
little candles,
Yeah,
it's-
it's on these little candles, and the background does not
Yeah,
allow that little
and it,
printing.
and
to
it didn't really
pop
have any
out.
relevance. Really,
It really
Well,
didn't. Not
well-
that we can
It's just
figure
saying-
out.
I mean, it was saying
You take out the things that based on your player count.
No,
that was mentioned at the beginning.
it didn't mention
For
about
cards.
the candles. Not that was on cards.
Oh well, that was the. I mean, I'm going to assume that's an assumption
no,
because of what's
because
on there.
I
Oh, it's not for solo play because it's greater than. It's all the greater one stuff.
you wouldn't want it. Yeah, I mean it's basically like it's saying it does say player 2 X or something like that, and it's just it was kind of confusing because there wasn't any mention of taking out anything in the candles in the rule book.
Well, it's a solo play. They take it out for solo play.
Probably we didn't really read through solo
Right.
play.
That's
Right, because
possible.
it's the greater than or equal to stuff that has it, so that you can't have greater if you're playing by yourself.
Yeah,
So, I would love this as an app.
I'm always greater.
Okay,
We'll run with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
we'll say it.
Okay.
All right. So moving on to the actual gameplay.
You didn't grade the rulebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
great!
I'm greater. See, I'm a greater.
1
The
through
rule
10.
book does a pretty good job. I'm going to go ahead and give it probably an 8.5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the game is actually pretty straightforward. Is that you have 3 cards in your hand at the start, and moving forward, you will, and you're going to pick up one card off of the board. Now, if you do not pick up the first one, you're going to have to play marigolds until you get to the one that you want. I actually want this yellow one up here. All right, so I'm going to pick this one up. All right, so, and out of these 4 cards that I now have, because there was some confusion around that, I'm going to play one. So I'm going to play this one right here. Now, this
if you want, you don't have to play a card.
You have to play one or discard
Right,
one.
that's one.
Yeah. So you get to play or discard.
But if you discard, you're only going to get 12 turns in the game, so you will not fill your board.
Yes, which is what happened to me.
And she's still won.
So keep that in mind. All right, so I placed it here. Now I'm going to complete a lot of cards. So we're just going to focus on one. We're going to do the one that I placed. It is now completed, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, does it meet its qualifications? It does not, but we're going to pretend it does for the sake of this. Actually, we'll do the one next over, the one that it gets completed. It's saying, ask us if I have 2 yellows. I do, in fact, have 2 yellows next to this one. So then I get to flip it over.
When she's saying completed, it's for having all the surrounding adjacent cards, diagonals or above and below.
Mm-hmm. Correct. All right, so I have the 2 yellows that it required, so I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to get the opportunity to fill in a marigold if I so choose. And if I had a candle that matched, this one requires 4 skulls. I only have 3. Now, when I picked up that card, however, I could have picked up a candle at that point. I should have mentioned that. You do not have to. You can only hold 3 candles. So sometimes it's better to make a choice. I would have picked it up because I only had 1 more in my hand. It's asking for 2 oranges. I could have placed that there and had it flipped over.
And then, like the cards, you can play marigolds to get a different candle.
Yeah. And the candles, once you have them, you can't discard them.
Right.
So
and you can only hold
if you
3.
get 3, you're stuck with those 3 until you meet the criteria and can play them. And you can only play them when you actually create a surrounded one of the circle spaces in between.
Yeah. Also, the one thing to keep in mind is just like I only had 1 card left because I had discarded 1, the cards that met the requirements but I couldn't flip them over, I do get to flip them over at the end of the game. So that is a caveat.
If you meet the requirements.
If you meet the requirements. That was something that I think everyone would have played it a little bit differently had they known that, but when I encountered that, I ended up looking at the rules and found it. But it was very late in the game, and I think all of us would have maybe played a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, because you're disadvantaged, because the 2 center spaces in particular have 6 requirements, cards around them that you have to manage to meet the requirements with. So there's some of the cards that are fairly easy. They have 2+ of something, which means anything touching them. So 6, if you have 6 cards touching, there's a good chance you're going to get 2 of those or more. There's other ones that say every card has to have one of these 2 icons.
You want to put those at the end of the roll.
Those are horrible. Those
low
cards,
and high and on the sides.
you basically don't want those cards. I would avoid them as like the plague. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them. And then there's some that you can't have any of 2 things. Those weren't so bad either.
I put them in the middle. Like if I had to get one, it's fine. But yeah, and it also depends on how your board ends up flowing through. So sometimes it was like, oh, that card fits perfectly, so it doesn't really matter, and I was able to play it just fine. And other times it was like, I hate this so much. But overall, I actually really like it. I like logic puzzles. I want to play this again. I actually want to share this with my family because it is easier in the fact that you pick a card, you play a card. So getting people to the table will be fairly quickly, but it is a bit of a thinky game because you're really trying to figure out the placement of it. Now, that being said, I know 2 out of the 4 people playing had a different opinion. Rob, your opinion?
Yes. So I mean, logic puzzles are great if you're given clues where you can deduce how to solve the puzzle. You don't get that option here. It's random. You get, you have some mitigation in which card you can draft, but if all 4 of those cards don't meet what you're really needing, you're completely hosed. So hopefully maybe you wanted the 3 cards you're holding, but if out of all those you still can't play a card, then you're either going to have to discard a card to get some marigolds and not play a card, or going ahead that you're not going to be able to score that card. And that's kind of hard to do. I hate playing a game where I know I can't score points. Now, if I did it because I was dumb, that's different. But I mean, if that's a mechanic or a part of the game where I know I can't play this because, oh, sorry about your luck, I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way a little bit. So, and I don't want to poo-poo on the game either. I could see the value in it. It's just personally, I don't like that being taken away from me being able to play the cards the way I want to play them, or of course by the rules, but being very limited on what I can do, and it randomly giving me those options.
Yeah, there is a lot of luck involved because you may get lucky and the card that you need comes out and other people don't take it or other things.
Or it could swing the other way. You could have been extremely lucky in getting the right cards, where I could have been extremely unlucky and got the wrong cards, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Now I will say they do cater for color blindness, which
they
I
do.
like.
They do.
Different shapes for different colors, and colors are part of this. As far as some of the criteria.
Well, I think the color is very important because it's just the tradition of that holiday. It's a very festive, very colorful event.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I love the art so much. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. And I think spot on. They covered for color blindness. Scoring wise, I think you're going to get a wide range here. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually want to introduce it to my family. Is it my favorite one out there? No, but I'd play it again. I'm probably going to give this a 7.5. I liked it.
What do you think?
Well, for me, the biggest problem I have with it is the disparity of those criteria on the cards. If they were all fairly equivalent and just varied, I would have less problem than having, I get to take this card that has criteria of you have to have every card touching it be A or B, and then this card has to be B or C, or this one has to be whatever. So I ended up with hands where I had no choice, where all 4 of them were like that, and I had to take one. And that was very frustrating.
You have to put those in the corner. Now, mind you, when you place ones, they don't have to be touching. So you could do one corner, one corner.
Yeah. And it dawned on me later on that I needed to put those easy 2+ ones in the 2 center spaces, which, by the way, the board does have marigolds printed on some spaces and cost marigolds in the 2 middle ones, which is where you're going to have more connections, therefore more potential for points or losing points.
Right.
And I got half one win and 1 loss because of that. Also, there's 3 spaces that have a gold perimeter that double the score for that.
I didn't even use mine.
And it's all, the more lit candle spaces you have touching each other, the better off you're going to score. So having not having them spread everywhere, which is what I did, is much more beneficial. So. The problem is it's easy to say, this is going to help on this one, and miss that it's going to totally ruin you on scoring elsewhere because you've got other criteria. So, given that, I like the game, I like the concept. I really wish they would have focused on those cards to make them more balanced, to make it a better execution. I'm probably going to give this somewhere between 6.5, 7. I'll be generous because it is kind of unique to give it a 7.
So I didn't care for the game, but only because of that luck issue. So the artwork though was great. So I mean, component quality is definitely better than the standard Catan 5. So I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay.
There's not that much disparity then.
Yeah. I mean, now we'll say, will you play it again?
No.
I would. You wouldn't.
I would play it differently now, knowing, especially
so when I get this out and try to teach Mom and Amara, would you play it?
I don't know if I'd want to play it with your mom and Amara, just because I know your mom would get
frustrated. Andrew, and
don't throw your dad in there. No, I mean, I think that they would get frustrated with some of the same problems. But
my mom would totally crunch on it. She loves these.
She loves logic things like that. Okay. Oh, so you definitely would love the theme.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, guys, I had fun.
No, I had fun at the table with playing with my friends. And my family.
So we had fun, and hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.